Hey there, it's Audrey. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I am so excited because today is the very first day of my Summer Scrapping Series, 21 days of summer scrapbooking pages in June, July, and August. Today my guest is Sarah Scraps. She has a wonderful channel, all kinds of videos on her channel, so go check her out. And I am also participating in Virginia Walker's Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file YouTube hop this week. Confessions of a Paper Addict is a cut file store. Virginia makes amazing cut files, so you need to go check out her shop and her video as well. And her design team will be showcasing using cut files all week. So she's releasing a whole bunch of summer cut files, so that goes perfectly with my theme. So I am using this fish cut file that Virginia created that you can find in the shop, which I will link below. And I am first tracing it, and I absolutely love this file. I thought, and you can see that the letter I is actually a fish instead of a letter, and I wanted to actually make more fish. So, and I want the fish to be going horizontally, so I rotated the word, and I copy and pasted the title a second time, and I am using my eraser tool in my Silhouette Studio to erase all the letters. There are probably other ways that you can do this to get rid of sections, but I just erased all the letters. And because it was connected, I actually erased some of, you can see the red line missing there along the top of the fish and the bottom of the fish. So I'm just going to go in with the drawing tool and draw in the line. I zoomed in really close. It's not a perfect line, it's a little wonky, but you can't even see it when it gets cut. I then made that all one path by connecting the lines together, and I just copy and pasted the fish over again to make different sizes, and now I have a whole school of fish. And that was kind of my goal here, is to have a whole bunch of these fish. So I used the original file, just deleted some parts I didn't want, and I was able to duplicate all those fish. So I drew in a square here for my photo, which I often do when I am kind of laying out a page in Silhouette Studio. And I had originally put a 3x4 photo, and after I finished this video I realized that I wanted the photo to be a little bit bigger, so I actually printed out a 3.5x5 inch photo, so a little bit bigger than a 3x4. Okay, so my file I am cutting from white cardstock. I think actually it's done up there in the top right corner of my screen. And I have been trying to stay away from using completely white cardstock for my backgrounds lately. So I am going to use this aqua cardstock, and I'm going to cover it with some gesso, and I'm going to do some mixed media. So I recently just splurged on a whole bunch of the new Distress Oxide spray inks. I love working with the Distress Oxide. I love how they react with water. I love how they blend. I love how they layer on top of each other. So I just am kind of winging it here. I just spritz them right on. This third color is not a Distress Oxide. I don't think that minty color is a new color actually from Shimmers that was an exclusive with the Missy Wooden color kit for June, which I just got, and I loved the mint, so I needed to get that. And I love the way that these are blending together. I'm spraying it with quite a bit of water. It took a little bit time to dry, but now it's dry. I'm going to go back over it with a couple other splatters. So I picked out a teal here. This is a Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and I think I mentioned this in another video. I don't necessarily pull out my mists and paints because of their finishes. I pull them out because of the color that they are. So if it has a shimmer to it, that's great. If not, that's great too. I know some people pick them out specifically for the effect they give, but I'm really just looking at the color. And I want a little bit of contrast, so I added some citron. That's one of my most favorite colors. That is also a Distress Oxide ink, spray. And then I went over it finally with some white acrylic paint. So after that's dry, which took a while, I am pulling off my cut file here, and you'll see that I printed out the word fish with the fish in it. And I'm just going to pull out the inside pieces. So I had the letters F, S, and H that came out from the middle, so I was thinking about saving them maybe for another project. I probably won't use them. Just going to pull out all the little bits. I love the way that looks. Yep, not completely dry, and I was a little bit worried about putting my white cut file on top there and getting some paint on it, so I'm just going to leave it to the side for now. So there is my picture, my daughter with her fish face. She's going to regret that photo someday. she she often makes funny faces in photos, and I've been telling her, you know, mommy scrapbooks, right? Like, you know that these photos people are going to publicly see. Please don't make that face. But yeah, she'll learn someday. Okay, so time to back these fish. I was thinking about making the fish kind of blue and green and kind of going not monochromatic, but you know, just in the blue green range. But I changed my mind. I wanted to go colorful, so I also didn't need big pieces of paper. So I was going through my stash and I found these little paper pads that I think I got in the Hip Kit Club kit from Paige Evans for Pink Paisley. It's Paige's Horizon collection. And that piece there that you can see that's kind of overlapping the photo, it's perfect because it kind of looks like, it's like scalloped, but when you turn it to the side, it kind of looks like fish scales. So I am going to back my main fish in the word fish with this kind of scallop paper. I am first going to go through and back all the fish eyes. I decided to just go with blue. I mean, I don't really know what color fish eyes are. They're kind of black, I guess, if you look at my photograph. But so I'm just going to give them blue eyes, and they're all going to have the same color eyes. When I back my cut files, I know people do it different ways. I don't trace. I just put a scrap on the back and then cut around it once it dries. I'm using a mixed media liquid adhesive in my fine line bottle. It's by Thermoweb. I used to use the Scotch Quick Dry, but that actually dries really, really, really fast. This one doesn't dry as fast. It's still quick, but so I just put my paper on the back of my cut file, and then I just let it dry for a minute or two, and then I go back and just cut around it. And again, it's not a perfect cut, but it's fine. That's just my method. So you can see I've cut and backed all my fish there, and I just mixed and matched a whole bunch of patterns. And I wanted my title to pop out a little bit more, so I'm going to put it on some vellum and just have the letters backed with vellum. So I am using some sticky dots. This is a sheet of adhesive. It's an 8.5 11 by 11 sheet of adhesive that is just completely covered with sticky dots. It's also by Thermoweb. And it makes backing intricate cut files really easy because you just stick it on and then pull it off. It is a little bit tricky, as you saw there, me fiddling with the H at the end. If you do have a very delicate cut file that, I don't know, it wasn't attached in a lot of places, it can be tricky pulling it off the adhesive, but it works great. Okay, so I fussy cut out the vellum, so I like the little bit of vellum behind the letters, and I thought, you know what, let me add a little bit more vellum to the page. So I just am grabbing some circle punches, and I thought I'd kind of make some bubbles. You don't really see them that well. You'll see them in the close-ups, and if you're looking at the page in real life, you can see them, but I thought it just added a little bit more interest to the background. So I used 2 size circles here, and I had a 3rd size, but I thought it was too big. So just a couple small ones that I will scatter around. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. I'm really glad I went with the bright colors of the fish. I'm just trying to rearrange them now, see where I want them exactly. And I think, what am I going to do next? I am going to, oh yeah, before I get too much further, I thought, okay, I know I'm going to stick with these vellum shapes, so I'm going to stick these vellum circles down, and I want to do some stitching. And I'm going to stitch over these individual circles. So I'm just going to add a tiny dab of glue to the back of each circle, and then I will go and machine stitch, and voila. I used a special wavy stitch. I love this stitch. My sewing machine, by the way, is ancient. I got it when I was in like 7th grade, so it's, let me just say, it's over 25 years old. Actually, it might be over 30 years old, but who's counting? Anyway, It's old, but it has these little discs that you can put in the machine and change the shape of the stitch. And so I love this wavy stitch. It's perfect for summery water pages. Okay, so I trimmed off all my extra threads. I love the way that looks. All right, so now what? That was my question. Feel like I need to embellish this or add something else to the page. I guess I didn't show you that I backed my photo. I must not have recorded that. Or maybe I showed it already and I just forgot to mention it. But I did back my photo with a couple pieces of paper. I used a green piece and just some type of white pattern. So I didn't really know what else to add to this page. So I found, a couple stickers, and I had these really teeny tiny fish stickers that I got in the dollar bin at like Michael's or something. And I have off to the side, I have a huge stash of like random summer embellishments, and I just kind of dug through that, and I really wasn't finding anything to just add more to this page, and I really didn't know what else to add. I gotta say that there are very few lines, scrapbooking lines, that have fish in them. So what did I do? I made some more of my own. So I really went through my stash for quite a while and decided that the best thing to do would just be to make more of my own fish. So I cut out a couple more from using the same cut file pretty much, or the same exact file I had open because I hadn't closed it yet. Backed them all with paper. I'm going to skip showing you that because you already saw me do all that. And I think I put 5 or 6 more on there. And that just seemed like it fit much better. And I'm actually glad that I went with this instead of digging through my stash looking for other embellishments, because this really makes the cut file stand out. It goes with the theme of the page. The fish are fun and bright and cute, so that works well. I am just putting some foam squares behind my title. Because it's backed with vellum, it's kind of hard to put skinny pieces of foam around the letters, but I just cut my foam squares while they're still on their packaging and just put really skinny pieces behind there. I'll pop that off. Of all the embellishments that I did find in my stash, though, I liked the sticker that said "Keeping It Real." That was that was actually an exclusive from a Hip Kit Club kit. And I found another sticker on a Simple Stories line. Actually, I think I just got the Simple Stories line, and it says fish face, and it was perfect, obviously, because we have a little girl with a fish face. So I am looking for a label sticker to add my date. I have so I'm reaching up right in front of where my page is here, I guess, well, the top of my page. I have a little set of drawers that I keep all my label stickers in and my date stamps. So that's what I was reaching for right in front of me. So I put the label sticker up underneath the top of the photo. And now, just to add a little bit more sparkle, I'm going to go through and add just a couple sequins. I don't want to do too many, just a few here and there. And I'm just putting those on with some of my liquid glue. I find that sometimes I use glue dots, and I probably should have used glue dots because sometimes with the liquid glue the sequins tend to pop off. So I gotta be careful and keep an eye on those, or put it in an album right away, and then that probably wouldn't happen. But I am terrible about putting my layouts away right away. As a matter of fact, I have hundreds in piles that need to be put away. So, okay, that's a different video. I added my lines for my journaling off to the right there. I used a white pen and my ruler to make the lines, and then added my journaling, and there's the final page. I love how this came out. Look at how cute those fish are. I didn't back every single section of the fish individually, but you could really make some cute patterns with this cut file. I love it. I love it. And I love the vellum behind the title too. And I love the inks in the background and my stitching. So I'm super happy with this page. It's so cute. A good one to kick off my Summer Scrappin Series with, because this really defines summer for us. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to check out Sarah's channel for her video today, and go out and check Virginia's channel and the Confessions of a Paper Addict store. I'll see you tomorrow for day 2 of Summer Scrappin'. Stay scrappy, friends.